suck at Jeopardy
I don't know
tonight,
what I just did.
but on March 9th, but
And that's what Rocky looks like at the end of it.
you won though.
No, I missed Final Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Missed
You
it.
forgot.
Missed Final Jeopardy, but until then I was doing pretty well.
Yeah. I'm Tim,
And I'm Millie.
and in today's sports news and football news, I found this article on NFL.com. Maya Shaka got added to the NFL's officiating staff for the 2021-2022 season. She is going to become the first black woman in NFL history to officiate. And in Giants news, I read this article on Giants.com. The New York Giants have released wide receiver Cody Core on March 8th. And in Syracuse football news, I took this article from CNYCentral.com. The tickets for the fall 2021 season are now on sale. $125, general public. Renew by April 23rd. If fans are allowed by then, but... And Syracuse men's basketball... their next game, ACC Tournament Second Round, March 10th, versus NC State at high noon. Syracuse men's basketball ACC record 9-7. Syracuse men's basketball record 15-8. And Syracuse women's basketball, according to newsmagician.com, Camila Cardoso had 16 points and 13 rebounds. Kiara Lewis had 12 points. Digna Stroutmain and Meva Jaldi-Tabdi had 11 points. Syracuse beats Florida State 68-67 at the buzzer on March 5th. Emily Engstler had 21 points and 10 rebounds. Meva Jaldi-Tabdi had 11 points. Camila Cardoso had 10 points. Syracuse is dropped 72-59 to Louisville on March 6th. Syracuse women's basketball next game, the NCAA tournament, which we don't know when yet. Syracuse women's basketball ACC record 11-8. Syracuse women's basketball record 14-8. And Syracuse men's lacrosse. When I read this article on Syracuse.com/Orange Lacrosse, welcome to the new dome. 250 fans for the men's lacrosse game. They opened it up to 900 students, but only 250 came.
Well, it's still getting butts and seats now.
Yeah. And Owen Hilt had 4 goals. Stephen Rafis had 8 points, 2 goals and 6 assists. Chase Scanlon had 3 goals and 1 assist. Drake Porter had 20 saves, the most since Peter Tolachini. He got 22 in 2007, 14 years ago. And Syracuse beats Vermont 17-13 on March 7th. Syracuse men's lacrosse next game, March 12th at Stony Brook at 1 o'clock p.m. Syracuse men's lacrosse record 2-1. And Syracuse women's lacrosse. When I took this article from Syracuse.com/Orange Woman, Emma Ward had 4 goals. Syracuse women's lacrosse slays Duke 15-5 on March 6th. Syracuse women's lacrosse next game, March 11th versus Notre Dame, at 7 o'clock p.m. Syracuse women's lacrosse record 3-0. And in hockey, Vegas Golden Knights. When I found these articles on NHL.com/Golden Knights, Marc-Andre Fleury had 20 saves. This is a recent game. Vegas lost 2-0 to the Minnesota Wild on March 8th. Riley Smith, Chandler Stevenson, and Alex Tuch all scored, and Max Pacioretty had 2 goals, including the overtime game winner.
Where did Pacioretty used to play?
Montreal.
He never came over here?
I don't know.
Why do I know that name so? He's just a good hockey player?
He's just a good hockey player.
I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Okay.
And
Pacioretty, I like that.
Vegas' 5th consecutive win was 5-4 in overtime on March 5th. And Oscar Dance scored a San Jose goal on accident on himself. But Vegas still won.
Wow.
I laughed so hard at that. And at the time I was ticked.
Does that mess with your stats if you're a goalie and you score on yourself? Is that like a stat that they keep track of or not?
No.
Okay. Well, it's still a goal scored on you.
Yeah.
So it does mess with your stats.
A little. Mark Stone and Riley Smith both scored. Alex Tuch had 2 goals. Marc-Andre Fleury got 24 saves. Vegas shuts out San Jose 4-0 after being tossed from the hotel they were staying at.
Is that real?
Which went bankrupt, so they had to find a new hotel to stay at.
Wow.
As soon as I saw
Make a movie out of that.
As soon as-
Hockey team had to find a hotel room for the night? That's a cool idea for a movie.
As soon as I heard that, I read that at first. I was like, no. This cannot be real. This is a movie. I was like, nope. They're like, nope. The hotel went bankrupt.
That's crazy.
Vegas Golden Knight Mark Stone and Dr. Claudia Mejia named National Hockey League's first Stars of the Week from March 1st through the 7th. Vegas Golden Knights next game, March 10th at Minnesota at 7 o'clock p.m. Vegas Golden Knights record 16-5-1. Still good, I mean.
65-1? That's like
Yeah.
great.
Tampa Bay Lightning, the 2019-2020 Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. According to NHL.com/Lightning, Anthony Cirelli, Victor Hedman, and Ryan McDonough scored. But Tampa Bay Lightning lose 4-3 in a shootout on March 5th.
So overtime loss.
Overtime loss, shootout loss. Yeah.
Good, got a point.
Andre Palat, Victor Hedman, Alex Killorn, and Pat Maroon all scored. Yanni Gord had 2 goals. I watched this game, actually. Tampa Bay Lightning wins 6-3 over Chicago on March 7th. It was 3-0 Chicago. Tampa got 1. Even my dad knew. He's like, yep, there they go. They're going to score at will. And the Tampa Bay Lightning announced the 2020 Stanley Cup champions banner will be raised on March 13th for reopening night. With that, it's about time. Tampa Bay Lightning next game, March 9th at Detroit at 7:30 p.m. Tampa Bay Lightning record 17-4-2. I think they might win the Stanley Cup again. Who knows? And Henderson Silver Knights. I found this article on HendersonSilverKnights.com. Hear ye, hear ye. Henderson Silver Knights goals scored by Gage Quinney, 3, and Dylan Sakura. And Gage Quinney had Hendy's first hat trick. And Hendy has the best 11-game start of an inaugural team in American Hockey League history.
Wow. Who's your affiliate?
Vegas.
Makes sense.
Vegas. And Hendy wins 4-2 over Colorado on March 5th. Hear ye, hear ye. Henderson Silver Knights goals scored by Pavel Dorofeyev, Jimmy Schultz, Dylan Sakura, and Lucas Elvenis. And Hendy wins 4-1 over Colorado on March 6th. Henderson Silver Knights game versus Colorado, March 8th. postponed due to COVID-19 protocols in Henderson Silver Knights program. Henderson Silver Knights signed defenseman Garrett Johnson to a professional tryout on March 9th. And in Manitoba Moose news, I read these articles on moosehockey.com. Cole Meyer had 2 goals. CJ Cease had a goal. Manitoba beats Belleville 3-1 on March 5th. Billy Canola, Skylar McKenzie, Nathan Todd, and Harold's Eagle, I don't know how to say his name, all scored. Jeff Malott had 2 goals. Manitoba beats Belleville 6-2 on March 6th. And goalie Eric Comrie reassigned to Manitoba on March 7th from the Winnipeg Taxi Squad. And Harold's Eagle, Jeff Malott, and CJ Cease all scored. Nathan Todd had 2 goals. Manitoba loses 6-5 in overtime to Stockton on March 8th.
Wow.
And Manitoba next game, March 10th versus Stockton at 7 o'clock p.m. Manitoba record 6-1-0. And that was Manitoba's first game at the Bell MTS Iceplex. The first regular season game ever there, I think. That's what they said anyway. And in Crunch news, I took these articles from SyracuseCrunch.com. Florida's Saran Noel got his first professional goal. Taylor Radish also scored. And Crunch lose 4-2 to Rochester on March 6th. The Tampa Bay Lightning called goalie Spencer Martin and forward Taylor Radish a taxi and sent forward Jamel Smith and goalie Christopher Gibson to Syracuse on March 8th. And the Tampa Bay Lightning re-signed forward Daniel Walcott for 2 years on March 9th. The Crunch's next game, March 11th, at Utica at 7 o'clock p.m. Crunch record 3-5-1-0. And it's typical beginning of the season, even though it's March this year and not November. And in NASCAR, is that Kiss, Frankie?
Is that Kiss?
After controversy, being fired, and having his reputation tarnished, Kyle Larson took home the win Sunday at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. His first ever NASCAR Cup win. He has Rick Hendrick to thank, who hired Larson and even personally paid for his car.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Larson make a comeback. The next race to watch is the Xfinity Series LS Tractor 200 at the Phoenix Raceway on Saturday, March 13th at 5:30 p.m. airing on Fox Sports 1. I love what Billy wrote. He said O-N-E, W-O-N.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. And in New York Mets news, the Mets continued spring training and played 3 different games with 3 different results, winning 6-1 against the Astros on Saturday, tied 4-4 against the Marlins on Sunday, that was March 6th and 7th, then lost against the Nationals 9-5 on Monday, March 8th. Currently, the Mets are playing the Cardinals. We'll let you know the result this Friday, March 12th. And in Cuse Mets, well, there's no news, but it's a long time since we'll see them again.
I can't wait, but I'm not going to count the days yet.
It's too far away.
Yeah.
And in sports uplifting news, Anthony Tonaleone of Ashburn County, Mississippi, was interviewed by Not Buck magazine after surviving a horrific ordeal in the DeWalt Mountains. Anthony recalled passing out in the forest near a ranger outpost and woke up in the middle of the night alone.
Wow.
Anthony said, "It was pitch black. I couldn't see my own toes. I felt around for my cell phone, but touched poison ivy instead. I was covered. Then I snapped my ankle over a log and hit my head pretty hard.
Oh.
After an hour of crawling, I encountered a jackal eating something. And as it mauled me, I reached for a weapon to defend myself. I just grabbed more poison ivy. I was covered. I shoved a handful into the jackal's mouth, and it let me go. I was in pretty bad shape. And after the jackal left, I slammed my head into a beehive.
Oh.
The bees were all over me, in my ears, my eyes, and my nose. I screamed, and they swarmed into my mouth. I can't tell you how many I swallowed. Hundreds. But the protein from the bees kept me alive. When the bees were done stinging, I found a stream to drink from. But as I gulped down what I thought was water, I saw the sign saying it was a sewage runoff reservoir. And I threw up in a nearby bush, which turned out to be poison ivy. I was covered. Then, as the cold grew more intense, I started losing feeling in my toes and fingers.
Oh.
I found thick foliage to stuff into my pants, shirts, and socks to help insulate myself better. The next morning I woke up, I saw that the plants I had shoved into my clothes was poison ivy. I was covered. And I had broken my other ankle in my sleep. A park ranger found me a few hours later. He loaded me with morphine and then covered me in calamine oil-based lotion. That turned out to actually be liquid poison ivy. I was covered.
Oh.
At the hospital, my patient information got lost, and they yelled at me, screamed in my face. Then the doctor came in and hugged me very tightly, and I couldn't even breathe. But the doctor turned out to be poison ivy. I was covered. Thankfully, Anthony was finally treated and left the hospital on March 4th.
Nice.
From then, he opened a poison ivy factory. He broke his leg, but luckily, he is insured. He was covered.
Oh!
Syracuse women's ice hockey. The fearless team manager, Holly Steele, saved a baby from a burning building while scoring 6 goals for her team.
Whoa!
Then she paid for a puppy's surgery and helped an old lady find a new love.
Oh, what a nice lady that is.
And the Syracuse women's ice hockey team's done, so I don't even give a crap anymore.
It's over.
And the Buffalo Sabres, the Sabres fell to the New York Islanders. Psych! They set a record for the most fights in the game, with 17 players from the Islanders going to the hospital and 30 hours dying. The Sabres also got a late hits in their stats. After the game ended, the Sabres started beating fans in the stands.
God.
Jack Eichel even threw a baby on the ice and shot it.
Into the gun? Shot it into the net?
I don't know if it was in the net, but just
I was saying shot it.
oh yeah, shot it into the net.
Oh.
Let's see how many kills they'll get. And their next game is tonight, March 9th, versus the Flyers, going on right now as of this recording.
Oh yeah.
Started at 7 o'clock p.m.
Yep.
The record's a measly suckish 6-14-1. And then Syracuse women's field hockey. Syracuse started off on the right foot with a 4-1 win over St. Joseph's on March 7th. That's their spring home opener. Goals were made by Quigley, DeVries, Gucci, and Emily Strebe, having 3 saves in her first game as a goalie.
Freshman too.
She is a freshman and played great. And their next game is at Towson on March 14th.
Sorry, I ran out of space like I knew what I was doing.
And their record is 6-4.
Yeah.
And on this day in sports history, Melvin from Dawn Avenue hit a home run tomorrow. What?
We're going back in time to the future.
What the heck?
We're reporting on things that haven't happened yet.
I know it.
That's so good.
Wait, who are we talking about? Melvin, the
My buddy from second grade.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Lehigh Valley Phantoms mascot.
Oh, shut up! I should have said that. Go ahead, Damn. Shut up.
Now it's time for Tim's joke of the day. What did the ocean say to the shore?
What?
Nothing. It just waved.
Oh!
And you can email us at timshowandtell@yahoo.com. Like us on Facebook, Tim Show and Tell, and Tim at Productions. Follow us on Twitter at Tim Show and Tell, and subscribe to Tim's Show and Tell on YouTube. So until next time, I'm Tim.
That Bill.
Hopefully next time I'll be good at Jeopardy. And yeah, you see all these Capri Suns lined up across there?
Told you.
Told you.
You guys want one? Nope.
Nope. They're all mine.
Stay safe, folks. And guess what?